Hello, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Rooted at Badger Rocks virtual garden series. My name is Forrest Smart. I'll be doing today's garden workshop. And today we're going to be looking at green tomatoes, harvesting green tomatoes. But one thing you can do with your green tomatoes is you can make fried green tomatoes. So actually, if you call our workshop earlier this week, we did a cooking workshop on fried green tomatoes. And so we're kind of preluding this time, and we're going to go into harvesting our green tomatoes. So when it comes to green tomatoes, obviously we're at the tomato plant. We're in the middle of August. It's right around the peak of harvest season. So normally we're going to be looking for our red tomatoes. You know, that's kind of the big seller. A little bit more versatile. But if we have maybe like a lot of rain, some of your tomato plants maybe are getting a little bit, some diseases, or they're starting to kind of die away. You don't want your tomatoes to go rotten, or you don't want them to fall off before they're ripe. So a good way you can kind of get ahead of that is you can pick some green tomatoes. But if it's maybe like fall time as well, it's getting near the end of the season, the frost is starting to come, or it's getting closer, and you still have a lot of tomatoes on the plant, a lot of green tomatoes, it's a really good time that you can start picking those as well. You can save them for a while. For one thing, you can just eat your green tomatoes right away. Like I said, in our workshop we did this week earlier, we did fried green tomatoes. You can also do a baked version, a little bit healthier option. You can also make like green salsa with them, kind of similar to like tomatillo, like a salsa verde. Maybe like a tomato chutney, or just eating them plain with some salt if you want. However you want to take them. But for today, we're just going to focus on harvesting. And for harvesting green tomatoes, so there's a few stages that tomatoes are going to go through. Kind of once they start ripening, it's kind of called, I believe, the breaker stage. So tomatoes are ripen from the inside out. So even though they might be green on the inside, the inside might start turning a bit color. But mostly for a green tomato, especially for if you're making fried green tomatoes, you want them to be nice and firm and before they go through the breaker stage, because then they'll be firm throughout the whole tomato. They won't be really watery or maybe like maybe jelly on the inside, if that's how you kind of look at it. But so if you're frying them, they won't just fall apart and disintegrate in all the oil. So that's why we want a nice firm green tomato before it starts ripening. So if we're going to look at some green or tomatoes on here, we have a few here coming along. These ones look pretty good, actually. We kind of want a nice smooth bottom. They have some ridges. They're maybe not quite ready yet, or maybe not fully ripened, or not ripened, but fully matured to their size. That's kind of the other thing you want, is you want a tomato that's about the size of a ripe tomato, but before it starts turning color. So then, like I said, it's still nice and firm, but the taste is all there. It's not real bland, so it's not like undergrown, not unmature, not fully mature. That's the word I'm looking for. But other examples, I guess. So yeah, this one probably be just past the breaker stage, or a red one right here. So this one's just going to be ripening on the vine. We'll let that one keep going. We have a few others. So maybe like this one. I don't know how close you can get. Again, nice and green color. It's nice and firm. This one would actually be, oh, it already came out the vine anyway. We can take a look at this one. As you can see, it's nice and green still. Fairly firm. Not super hard, not like a rock hard or anything like that. And then, yeah, relatively smooth bottom. So some of these tomatoes, I don't think they're actually going to get, like softball size or anything. So this could be a good little small tomato, green tomato. Trying to find one more, maybe a little bit bigger version of one. Oh, I see one. Here we go. It's a little bit better size. See, nice and round, smooth bottom. Color's a little bit white, but still nice and green. So this is just before it's starting to turn, starting to ripen up. So this would be a great example for harvesting your green tomato. And once you harvest them, once you get all of your, whatever you want from your garden, from your plants, you can either store them in room temperature. If you store them a little bit cooler, they'll last a little bit longer. But if you just store them, yeah, like I said, around room temperature, they'll probably ripen. They'll actually ripen up. They'll turn red. They'll ripen maybe about 2 weeks or so. And that's if you keep them out of the light, maybe in like a cool, humid place, probably like a paper bag in like a dark area. or maybe a cardboard box, some newspaper inside of it. But yeah, that's a good way to store them. Otherwise, if you don't want to store them, let them ripen up more. Just get after them. Have some fried green tomatoes, make some green salsa, whatever it may be. And yeah, just again, good way to just utilize them right now. If your plants aren't doing the greatest, pick these while they're still good. And then in the fall time, right before your plants start to get their first frost, collect your green tomatoes so you don't lose any of them as well. And I think with that, that's about all I got for our harvesting green tomatoes. Again, just a great time or a great way to utilize something that even though it's not fully ripe. You know, there's benefits to all of our plants in here, even at the earliest stages. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for viewing our virtual garden series. We'll be back next week with another one, but until then, have a great day.